scripture to get out of helping the poor, they use that scripture, well, the poor you're always going to have with you, you know. Well, that doesn't get us off the hook, does it? Proverbs 22:22 says, rob not the poor because he's poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. You know, there's a lot of government agencies and police officers and medical doctors that when they find out a person is poor, they try to make it harder on them. If they're driving a shabby vehicle, they make sure they pull them over and harass them some more, don't they? Now the word poor is mentioned in the Bible 197 times. Ecclesiastes 9:15, now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man. You know, oftentimes the people that are poor and down and out, they get forgotten, don't they? Proverbs 14:31 says, he that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. Deuteronomy 15:11, for the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thy hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in thy land. Now, many of you know we have a not-for-profit organization, and one of our missions in that organization is to help those who are needy, to help those who are disabled, to help those who have special needs. You know, we're told in Deuteronomy 15:7, if there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren with any of thy gates in thy land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thy hand from thy poor brother. Now, I'm going to relay an experience that I had just this week. I went in to fill up my car with gas, and right next to me at the pump, there was an elderly lady sitting in a car at the pump, and she was acting very strange. And I looked in her car, and it was very evident that she was living out of her car, because she had everything in her car. And she also had a little dog, a little Chihuahua dog, cute little dog. And I went in and paid for my gas, and I came out, and I was checked in my spirit to say something to this woman. And so I went over to her, and she rolled her window down, and I said, are you okay? And she said, and I noticed that she was counting her change. She probably didn't have enough to put gas in her car. She was counting her change. And so I tried to make conversation with her, and I talked to her little dog, a cute little dog. And I was checked in my spirit. And I was checked in my spirit to give her a gift. That's what Family Affiliated Support Services does. We reach out and help those. So I went over to my wife, and we got some money together, and I went over and said, I want to give this to you as a gift. And it was like she had gone to heaven. She looked up at me and said, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it's more blessed to give than to receive, isn't it? You know, we should be trying to reach out and help the poor. I don't like to get on here and have to ask for money. But you know, I'm not ashamed of asking for money to help those that are in need. I'm not ashamed to ask for money to those who are in need. You know. Exodus 23:6, thou shalt not wrest the judgment of thy poor in his cause. Job said in 36:15, he delivereth the poor in his affliction and openeth their ears in oppression. Proverbs 19:4, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. Have you noticed that? Nobody wants to have anything to do with someone who's struggling, do they? They don't want to have anything to do with it, but they don't mind getting around people that have a lot of material wealth in this world, do they? Proverbs 22:9, he that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. Well, this morning I would like to challenge everyone that hears this. Don't forget the poor. If you're able to help them, reach out and help them. And if you have the ability to do so, send our organization a gift and we'll make good use for your money. You can send it to either go right to our website, which is FASSinc.com, and donate online, or you can send me a gift in the mail. Make it out to Family Affiliated Support Services, 12223 East State Highway 90, Pineville, Missouri, 64856. Proverbs 17:5 says, whosoever mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. You know, there are some people that seem like they get a charge out of mocking people that are going through things. Well, that's what I had on my mind this morning. We should not put down those who are struggling, that are going through calamities, that may be going through hardships or health concerns, or putting down those who are disabled, or putting down those who have gone through financial straits. We should be reaching out and helping them. May the good Lord be with you today is my prayer. God bless.